All right, so we're going to be in the third quadrant for x, down here. All right, this is angle x. And so we want cosine of 2x, which we need to find an identity, sine of 2x, and tangent of 2x. So let's figure out what identities we will use, and then we'll do this example. So I think cosine of 2x, I think, was it cosine squared or sine squared? It's cosine squared, yeah, minus sine squared. I'm just copying identities down before we start.
Okay.
Sine of 2x was 2 sine x cosine x, and then tangent of 2x will just be easiest to do sine of 2x over cosine of 2x. Because if we find cosine and sine first, then tangent's just immediate. So we'll basically use these two double angle formulas. So we'll find sine and cosine of x using the triangle, and then we'll come back and find sine and cosine of 2x, which is different. So tangent of 1/2 means, what else do we need? We can, I guess we'll have to find secant before we can find cosine, right? We can't immediately find cosine. So tangent, oops,
We can get cotangent, right? It's 1/10.
Yeah, but I don't know if we need cotangent.
Okay.
I'll show you. Actually, we probably will. No, I think we can get it without it. So we learned secant squared is 1 plus tangent squared. Just a formula. So we get 1 plus 1/2 squared for secant squared. Which means secant squared is 5/4. And then we'll take the square root, and it'll be negative in quadrant 3. Secant is negative down here, because cosine is negative. So secant x will be negative square root 5/2. Which isn't really that helpful for these formulas, but if I can find cosine and sine, then we can use the formulas. So cosine is just the reciprocal, so cosine's really fast.
1/, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be negative 2/√5. I'm just gonna leave it because we're gonna use, I'm not gonna rationalize it. And then sine squared, I'll just use 1 minus cosine squared. So 1 minus negative 2√5 squared. And then sine will also be negative in this quadrant since we're below the axis. So then let me just finish this thought. Sine squared is 1 minus 2/5. So 3/5. No, 1 minus 4/5, sorry. Because 2 squared is 4. So it's just the square root of 1/5, and it'll be negative because of the quadrant. Yeah, so I'm just going to box these up just as a reminder. And then, so 2x is a different angle. So 2x is actually double this angle. So 2x is really more like doing this twice. So probably up there or something. We don't really know exactly where 2x is, right? It's just twice as big. And so our only option is to use these two formulas.
Yeah.
So now that we found cosine and sine of regular x, we'll plug those in to these two formulas to find sine and cosine. So we'll plug this in and this in to find sine and cosine of 2x. This actually is really important because there is a lot of stuff in calculus where you switch angles. So you actually really do need this in calculus. But I'll let you plug them in and then let me know what you get.